guys, welcome to part 2 of my traditional family build. I'm sorry that this is so late, but yeah, we will hop right into it and we'll start with furnishing the kitchen. I tried to do a mixture of both traditional and modern, and yeah, I started with the kitchen and I used kind of old counters and old furniture in there, and I think the dining room is quite modern, and yeah, um, I try to strike a balance between those two, and I really try to match the colors, especially well, I try to match it in every room, but in the kitchen the colors are quite brown and orangey, and I think with a touch of cream in it. And I also used the hanging cupboards. I don't know what they're called in this moment, so yeah, the hanging things. And I tried to use a centerpiece or a center um counter or tail or something like that. But the kitchen was way too small for that. Even if I would love to have this in the kitchen, but yeah. I normally don't build my houses from the outside to the inside. Normally, I just build the rooms as I want to have them, or in the shape I want to have them. But yeah, I also want the house to look nice from the outside. So um, since I watch YouTube videos about building houses in The Sims 4, I tend to start with the outside because it just looks so much nicer, um, and I think more realistic and not so bulky or boxy if you start with the outside, because if you start with the inside and build your rooms as you want them, um, well, at least in my case, they tend to be very um, simple and box-like, and I try to avoid this now with doing the outside first. So you'll notice the floor in there. I used it in, I think, the whole first floor. Um, well, not in the study room, but in the kitchen, and um, I also think I used it in the living room. Yeah. And you'll notice there are a lot of golden or coppery items and orange, and I think it looks really nice. Oh, actually, I think I changed the floor after a while because it didn't fit into the dining room, or well, not with the furniture I wanted to use. So yeah, I think I changed that. Um, but for now we'll go with it, and we'll come to it back later because the next room I'm going to do is the dining room, and I think after that we'll go back and change the floor, yeah, because it didn't fit into the dining room anymore. So I'm trying to decorate and furnish my houses um, as it would be in reality, and therefore I tried to place a lot of smaller items and decorations around the house. And yeah, this is going to be the dining room, and I also wanted to use this shelf or this cupboard with the dishes in it because I think it's kind of realistic, and I don't use this that much, so and it also fits perfectly into this little nook on the left side. So yeah, I think it looks nice in the end. But I had a little well, I had small problems with furnishing the living, not the living room, the dining room, and not furnishing. Um but picking the colors of the dining room because I wanted it to be very bright and cream colors and yellow. And I really love this combination of cream or white and yellow. Well, not that lemony yellow, but this I don't know what it's called. Well, perhaps pastel yellow. I think it looks quite beautiful, and I tried a lot of different tables in there, but in the end I settled on this one because I never used it before, and somehow it reminds me of IKEA furniture with the brown surface and the white underbuild. Is this even a word? I don't know. With the white legs, and I try to um, I try to use different stools, but in the end I'll go with them because I think they really match the style of the table, even though I think we got them with the what is it called again? The newest add-on, Get Together. Sorry, Get Together. And yeah, I definitely wanted to use this rug, but if you size it up, it's quite big. So I used two of them and placed it under the table and the stools, just because one sized up was too huge for the room. Here you see it. So I decided to do it in this way, even though there's this small edge or the small line where the two rugs overlap. But yeah, I think it's okay. And I tried a lot of different paintings and wall decoration in this dining room. I think it was the most difficult room in the house because I wasn't really sure which pictures would work in this room. And yeah, in the end, I think I used them. Or did I? No, obviously not. I don't know what I'm going to use, but we'll see it in a second, I think. And I know these curtains are in all of my builds, and I think, well, at least it seems like I'm only using this curtains at the moment. And this could be actually true because I really adore them, and I think they look really beautiful, especially the white variation, and I use it quite often because I think it fits a lot of in a lot of different houses and it matches quite different styles. And yeah, they're very versatile, I think. So you see, in the end, I go with these shelves. Are these shelves? I don't know. The coffee items in it, and I think some other wall decorations and not even paintings. And I think that's quite fine. Yeah, what am I going to do next? Yeah, here I changed the floor. I believe I changed it a second ago and not um well, at least I noticed it now and not at the end of the video. I'm still going with the white furniture and some decorations, and then I'll try to decorate this hallway. And I didn't know what to use in there, quite honestly, because I wanted to use a more traditional sofa, but the color variations are really limited, and so yeah, I go with this one from the movie hangout stuff, and I try to fill the corner right there with some items. And yeah, I think it's not really a room, but just a small corner where you can read, perhaps um, sit down and wait that dinner is ready, or I don't know, read cookbooks or whatever. And yeah, it's not there to be very cozy or somewhat, because you don't um I don't think that someone will sit there for hours, because you have also the lounge. And yeah, you could go there, but for a small time, or just for 10 minutes you can sit down there and read, yeah, a cookbook or what else. So I'm starting with the study right there, and I think this is probably one of my favorite rooms, although it was quite hard to furnish it, because had a I had a certain style in mind, and it didn't quite turn out how I wanted it to be. Um, oh, I don't even start with the study right now. I'm sorry. I take everything back. We'll start with the living room, obviously, and this was also very difficult because the shape of the room is very unique and um, quite strange somehow, and I wanted it to be an open room. So you walk into the house, and then you you're standing in the living room. So um and also in this room I tried to use a mixture of traditional and modern items, but we don't have many sofas that fit that style, I think. Because I didn't want it to be really modern, but yeah, just contemporary, but not modern, if you know what I mean. Um, so I try to use different items and combinations, but it still didn't look right. And so um, in the end, I think I go from this room to the study area, and I'll furnish the study room, and then I'll go back to this room, because if you don't know how to if you don't know how to furnish a room, or if you're stuck, um, I think it's a good idea to do something else and come back to the problem later and solve it then, because I think you can't get to a decision if you're stuck in those I don't know, in that mindset, I think. Yeah, so I try to figure it out later, and um we'll go over this room a dozen times, I think, because it was so difficult to get it right. And right in my in my vision, or as I imagined it to be. And we'll get a small study nook in the front corner, and there we'll do some kind of a dressing area, but not as a room. It's just because I didn't want to waste any room with building a wall or something, and I wanted it to be quite open. And there's a lot of room in this front area, so yeah, I decided to put some dressing items in there and a study area. And I think the children could go home and um, do the homework in there, or the parents, when they get home, they leave the mail right there on the table. And yeah, this is what I imagine it to be. Not really to do serious work there, but to do small tasks. Yeah, this room right over there is going to be the bathroom, and this is probably the most modern room in the house. Um, because I don't think that even if you have a traditional house, um, that every room has to be very traditional. And I quite like the mixture of both styles, and so this is going to be really modern, and I really love the Spa Day expansion pack for that reason, because it goes with a lot of or it comes with a lot of different modern items, and yeah, well, obviously especially for bathrooms because it's a Spa Day pack. But yeah, we get a lot of different items and wall colors and flooring, and I'll get a lot of use out of this expansion pack or gameplay pack. So if you like modern styled bathrooms, it's probably the right pack for you. Um, I don't think there's a bathtub in there, but there's a small nook on the right, and we're going to, yeah, put a shower in there. And I think it fits quite perfectly because um, the room there or the space is not wasted, and yeah, it looks quite nice in my opinion. And I really, really like this bathroom. Well, honestly, I like all of the bathrooms, I think. Um, but in a quite different way because I think the other two bathrooms are more traditional, and yeah, well, but in my opinion, they all look pretty nice. And the color scheme of this room is probably gray, white, and blue. And I think some of the items are going to be mint green, yeah. For example, these towels. And I think I'm going to put a bench in there just to have small sitting area. Well, I could have placed a bathtub in there, but I think it didn't, or it doesn't quite fit, especially because this is probably the guest bathroom. So if you have guests, I think they wouldn't take a bath in there. So I think a shower is sufficient. And again, in the lounge room, I'm changing the style of the furniture and trying out different sofas. But in the end, I'll go back to it again and change everything because yeah, it just didn't look right, and I didn't like it because this style I'm doing right now is very modern, and it didn't quite fit into my vision of the house. And at the end, I also realized that there's no TV in the room, and I don't know why, but in every lounge I build, there's going to be a TV, um, or there is a TV. So yeah, I think it's probably the easiest possibility for The Sims to get their fun up. So I tend to use TVs in my lounges. Um, I also try to use this screen sofa, but I didn't think, or I don't think I ever used it before because it's I I'm sorry if you like it, but I think it's just ugly. So yeah, I think I used this in the end. And I know it looks quite feminine, but you could change the color in there or of the sofa, and it would look a lot more masculine. I think there are a lot of dark blues and browns, and I think yeah, this would be also nice. And I didn't know what to do with these small corners right there, the one with the easel and the one with the chair. So I decided to put the easel and the chair in there because there was no other item that I could use there. And here I noticed that I didn't even furnish the outside. So we'll go back there and I'll try to do some kind of sitting area on the round balcony or on the round porch, but the items didn't fit in there, and Yeah, you will see it in a moment because it looks quite obvious, if you can say so, because um yeah, you see, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. You will just see that there are benches and it doesn't look good, so I delete it in the end, and there will be just a small fountain, or um it's actually called bird bath in German, but I don't know if this word exists in English, so if you know what I mean, please comment it down below. I don't really know if this word exists. So I decided to put a small stool or bench on the wall there, so the Sims can sit outside and relax or enjoy the nature and, I don't know, read or do something out there. Perhaps eat their breakfast. Um, that's probably what I would do there, because I think this is really a nice thing when it's summer and you have a big house and an outside sitting area, so you could go out there and eat your breakfast there. I think that would be really nice. So I'm going to put a lot more flowers outside, or at least at the veranda. Oh yeah, this is where I put the benches in there, but perhaps you see it from outside, but it doesn't look really appealing because you see the benches from outside, and then I deleted it and went with this dude on the wall. Um, yeah, and it looked quite nice, or at least nicer than the benches inside of the greenery. And I'll put a lot of plants and flowers out there. Um, yeah, and in the right corner I will do something that I think I got it from another YouTuber. I can't really recall which one it was, but I use a plant pot, and then I'll place a cactus in there, which I got from the build mode. So you can do your own custom plant pots with plants in there, and I think this is a quite nice idea. And yeah, in a moment you will see it, and then after a while I put some greenery in there as well, so that it doesn't look quite what is it called, quite clean as it looks right now. um yeah, and after that it looks quite nice, at least in my opinion it does. And then I'll decorate the wall with some gardening stuff, because if you have a house with such a huge amount of greenery, I think at least one of the Sims should be able to garden there, or should be willing to garden. That's perhaps the most. Um, Actually, I didn't know what I wanted to say, so we'll move on to the next step. And I also put a bench in there, I think. So there are a lot of sitting possibilities for your Sims if you decide to download this house. And actually, I have to mention that I used a lot of move objects in there. So I think this works. If you want to download the house, you can download it, but before you place it on a lot, you have to open the cheat bar, and then you have to type in bb point or dot move objects on, and then I think it should work, and then you could place the house. Here I'm working on the study right now, and I wanted it to be, yeah, as I mentioned it in every room, I think I wanted it to be a mixture of both traditional and contemporary or modern style. So in the end, I'll decide to use the wall texture from outside and place it inside, so that it gets this old Tudor house look. and I think with the color combination that I chose, it looks really nice, and I would like to have such a big study with three desks. And yeah, I think the person who studied this is really mm, open-minded somehow, and I think also creative. Um, Even though I didn't put an easel in there, it somehow seems like, yeah, like the person would be like that. And I had a lot of problems putting the rug in there because I always deleted the floor. Because if you size a rug up, you can't really, yeah, well, you can pick it up, but it's really difficult because you have to get the right point, if you can say so, and otherwise you pick up the floor and then you delete this and not the rug. And that's what happened there quite often. So yeah, I tried out a lot of different rugs because it didn't fit into my imagination. And I think I'll go with this rug, but in another, yeah, in this color combination. And then this is where the room exactly comes to life, because um, I used this color swatch, or I um, used the color swatches from the rug as an orientation. Um, and I think it goes quite well with the room, and I really like it. And I think these windows could be used as some kind of counters where you can put things, and that's why I decided to put a lot of flowers in there. And I think um, it didn't function if you don't use, well, it didn't function as I didn't use the move objects cheat, so I had to use it to place some of the objects in there, because actually it's not supposed to be used as a countertop or as a bench or something like that. Um, but it would be quite empty without anything in there, so that's why I decided to put a lot of greenery in there and also into the whole house, because I don't know why, but I think I have in my imagination the owners of the house are quite handy and crafty people, and they like to garden and they love flowers, especially one of the rooms, which is going to be the teen room. You will see it later. It's going to be the girls' room, and she has a lot of flowers and plants in her room. And I wanted to, well, I will talk about this later because um, I think I should concentrate on this room now. Well, uh, although it's quite finished now. I'm going to put a bookshelf in there, or two bookshelves, I think, and then I'm using one of the new paintings that we got with the recent update. It's the one with the plum bob, and yeah, I really like it where I place it. And it's on this wall, and you will see it in a second. I think the bookshelves are from the no, not criminal, from the police career. And yeah, they fit the style of the room quite well, and that's why I decided to use it. You could place a TV on there if you want to. I think they could watch it from the desk, but I'm not quite sure if this works with this sideboard, because with some sideboards it's not possible to place any items on it, which is quite annoying. Um, and I don't know why they make it like that, because I always use them and then I place the items with the move objects on sheet, because it doesn't work without it. So this is one point that is really annoying to me. And I also have to apologize because I really sped it up a lot, because otherwise the video would have been about an hour or 1.5 hours, and I didn't want to make 3 parts out of it because um, yeah, I don't like that. Um, it's quite annoying if you have to watch so many parts, I think. And I think 2 are okay, but 3 are also okay, but um, 4 parts are really too much. So I'm starting to decorate the parents' room, and I'm not quite sure which color scheme I want to use there. But in the end, I use this pink and red colors, and this is one of the rooms that is more traditional, and some kind of, I don't know if this is the right word, but it seems a little bit Western or country country style. And yeah, um, as I mentioned, this is the parents' room, and the room on the left side is going to be a bathroom. So um, I suppose, or I imagine, that there would live 2 parents and 2 younger boys, which are twins, and a teenage girl. So the parents have their own bathroom, and the 2 boys have to share a bathroom. But unfortunately, the teenage girl has no bathroom. So I tried to put one in there, but it didn't work. So I think she should use one of the other bathrooms, or you could put a bathroom in there. Yeah, but it didn't fit my vision for this build. So there's a small corner where I put this sofa or bench or what it is, and with a small decorations. And because I didn't know what to do in there, oh well, actually I could have put a study area in there, but there already one in the beneath the entrance and the study room. So I think two study areas are enough. So we're going to build the bathroom now, and this is also a bit more traditional. Um, and the colors I use are brown and cream colors, I think. And um, I did something that I haven't done before, and I used the sink in there, and then 2 small counter tables, um, counter tables, end tables. I'm sorry. And I think it looks quite nice because it's some kind of a pyramid shape, and also with the mirror and the 2 shelves on the wall. Yeah, I really like that. And we're going to do another room in a second. I think we will do the girls' room now, after I put some details in there and another rug and some curtains. Um, yeah, and I like this room a lot, as I mentioned before. And this is where I tried to put a bathroom in the girls' room, but the shape was so strange of this room, and I wanted her to have a big bed, a double bed, and not a single bed. That's why I decided against putting a bathroom in there. And yeah, she has to use one of the other bathrooms, I think. And this is the room where I put lots of flowers in there, or plants in there, and I really like it that way. And I think in the end the room is quite turquoise and yellow, or a mixture of both, I think. But yeah, we will see it in a second. And then I'm also putting a lot of flowers in there. Um, of course, a bookshelf, because I put a bookshelf in every room, I have the feeling. or at least in every bedroom, and trying out some colors. But I think also in this room I'm going to use a more traditional wall texture, as I also did in the study room. So in a moment you will see this, and I think, yeah, I used the outside wall texture, and I think it looks quite nice. Um, a few accent walls, and now I will create a study area there. And in one of Deligracy's videos, I think I saw this color combination of the desk, the yellow one. I never saw it before, and I was so astonished and somehow shocked that I didn't see it in 1 year, because I think it came with a base game. So I wanted to use it, but in the end it didn't fit the color, or it didn't match the colors in the room. So I decided to change the color of it. And I also wanted to use a wall divider, but then I thought, well, the room isn't that big, and I prefer the more open styled room. Um, Here I'm trying to fit, or I'm trying to find a perfect curtain, but in the end I'll go with them because I use them all the time, and you have such huge amount of possibilities what you can do with them, because you can because they are, well, you have two of them and you can um, make whatever combination you like. Yeah, I changed the color to the white of the desk, and I think this wall is going to be very teenage-like, or at least that's what I had in my room. A lot of wall art and posters, and yeah, I really like that in teenage rooms, and I do it quite often, I think. And I imagine her to be a very strong woman that loves movies and flowers and plants, and also movies and music. I think I'm going to put two guitars on the floor. But yeah, we will see this in a second. Yeah, there, I'll put the guitars down there so she can choose which one she would like to use if she's playing music. And yeah, I really like this room, and yeah, I like the way how it came out, and all of the closets were way too big for this room, so I decided to use this, which is a bit more traditional or old-fashioned. I think in white, every furniture looks quite modern. I don't know why. Um, Perhaps it's because in former times they used a lot of dark wood, and if you paint it white, it's quite unusual for the style of the furniture, and so it looks quite modern, I think. Well, at least that's my explanation. Um, yeah, putting more flowers and plants in there. And I also imagine the girl to be a bit more on the messy side, because I tried to make the room a bit messy with these clothes that I put under the bed, but I didn't want it to yeah, I think people should walk into the room and have the possibility to go everywhere, and that's why I just put two of that in the girls' room. And this room is the boys' bathroom, and it's just you could just what's the word again? Enter it through the boys' rooms, and yeah, it's their private ensuite bathroom. So I think that's quite nice, and I actually didn't know what to do with this room, and I wanted to use a quite unusual sink, or quite unusual um, items for it. And um, yeah, I used this sideboard and an actual sink, and I think that looks quite nice, but I don't know which color combination. Oh, I changed it? Did I? Really? Oh, I think I did because it didn't fit into the room, or it didn't match the style of the room. Um, but I like the idea of it. And I think this room is going to look a little bit more industrial, but also with the cream and the brown colors. And I really like that, I have to say. And I really don't like the really big mirrors, and I try to use them not that often. But in this case, one of them is really okay. I try not to use two or three of them in one room, but one of them is okay, and I think it looks nice. And I also like the one with the light behind it a lot more than the clean one, which you can use in some kind of a gym room or something like that. And I have to change all of the lighting in the rooms because at the beginning I just placed some of the lights in every room so I could see what I would do, and after that would have to change them because I try to use custom lamps, or I try to use different lamps in every room that it would that they would match the style of the room, which is quite usual in Germany, I think. I have heard that in other countries the lamps come with the house or with the flat that you're renting or something like that. But in Germany, it's usual that you buy the lamps that you like, and there's some kind of furniture too, so you could decorate your rooms with a lots of different lamps. And so this is why I used a different lamp in every room, just to match the style of the room. I think the boy that lives in this room is a little bit younger than the other one, and he likes the outdoors, and he likes animals and the wood, which is why I put a lot of stuffed animals in there and books, and he's creative. And yeah, you will see what the other boy is like in a second. But this one is quite shy, I think, and he likes reading and books and animals. And this is the second room, which belongs to a more mature boy, I think. Even though you can't really have different age stages with children. I would imagine the older boy to be, yeah, 2 or 3 years older than the younger one, and almost a teenager, I think. And this one is going to be the geeky guy, and he loves science, and we will have a lot of posters on the wall, and um, he likes electronics, and we will have a lot of cars, and I think an airplane and a boat. And I try to fit some what are they called, skill items in there, but they didn't fit into the room, so you have to put them somewhere else if you would like to incorporate them into your house. Yeah, so feel free to do that if you download the house. As I mentioned, he also is a bit nerdy, but he's more on the science side and not on the book reading side of nerd. And he likes cars and planes and, yeah, and science. And we will have some of the wall decoration from Get Together, the one with the club decoration, uh, or the club items or signs on it. And I thought this chess figure, or the horse of the chess game, matches the style that I wanted it to be, and also the colors were pretty nice for this room, the red and the blue, and I really like that. And we will have some um, badges on the wall as well, and this is going to be a small play area with the foosball table, and you can sit there if you have guests. You can play a match of foosball there. And yeah, I think we're going, or we are coming to the end now. and we'll go into the screenshots in a second. So I hope you liked this video. If you want to download the house, you will find this on the gallery using my username Lemony87, and I hope you have a nice day.